there. It's Debbie from Homebodies Fitness and Yoga. Waiting just a few moments to let people check in. And we'll get started with a slow flow and stretch release. So nice and easy today, just settling in. So waiting for a few connections so that we can all get started. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, hi Catherine, nice to see you. Again, this is going to be a slow flow with a release today. If you don't have yoga blocks, maybe some books you can stack up, some blankets or towels. If you think you need a strap for anything, a belt works, a piece of fabric works, a towel works. So you don't have to do anything crazy, anything. You don't have to have any special tools, just your body. Hi, Al. So I can see a few names that come up every now and again. Randy. So I'll try to shout out once in a while to you. If you have any questions when this is over, I'll be happy to assist you any way you need. So go ahead and come into your mat. Sit at the back of your mat in a wide-legged child's pose. Make your knees as wide as your mat. And then let your hips sink back to your heels. And today, if you have something that you can rest your arms on, so some blankets, blocks, books, see if you can just bring the item underneath you so it's not too stressful. And then even cross your hands there and let your head rest on top of your hands. So we're going to take this a little bit slower and juicier today. It's after hump day. It's for some the second night of Passover. Some people are laden with matzahs and matzah balls. So we're just going to kind of settle into this. This is also day umpteen of quarantine. I lost track, so trying to keep us a little sane. So if my head is raised, it's only so that you can hear me. Otherwise, I'd like your forehead resting on your hands. If you don't have anything under your arms, that's okay. Just let your arms rest underneath your head on the floor. Let your belly soften in between your thighs and let your hips sit back. And see if you can just melt. Just let your body surrender. Don't force anything. Make the breath a nice, smooth quality. So there's no stagnant breath, there's no hyper breath, fast hyperventilation. It's slow, smooth, steady, sweet. So breathe in and breathe out. So sometimes in a room full of people in a yoga class, you'll hear noise of breath or the sound of a breath. Now listen for your own. Listen for that ujjayi breath that we'll play with. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, and then there's a slight closing off at the back of the throat, which creates that sound. Some say like a wave on the ocean, others say Darth Vader. Depends on the mood, I suppose. So take a few more breaths here. Let your hips sink back to your heels. Let your shoulders release away from your ears. Let your mind be still and soft. There's a connection if your forehead is down to your third eye, the space between your two brows, your sixth chakra, your sixth sense, not coincidentally, I'm sure. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. And then inhale, rise back up to your hands. Move your blocks away. Extend your arms out in front of you and make it a little bit more active as you spread your fingers. Release your hips back to your heels. And maybe just gently move your hips from side to side. You might see my dog and family in the background. I mean, we're all home. What's the big
deal. Yeah. Let your belly soften, let your chest rest toward your thighs. There goes a nice up dog. And then lift your head and chest up and walk over to your right side. Place your left hand on top of your right. Right on. Push your left hip towards your heel. Get a little bit more release there. Listen to that breath. Find that smooth quality. And then raise up onto your hands. Lift your chest up and walk over to the other side. Right hand on top of left. Hips push back. Breathe all the way down the right side of your body. And then inhale again, walk through center. Push your arms all the way out in front of you now. See if you can melt your heart down. Reach your fingers all the way out in front of you. And then rise up onto your forearms. Bring your knees underneath your hips. And the arms underneath your shoulders, and just arch your back and tuck your toes. And then raise the arms off the floor as you round your spine, chin to chest. Hang your head down, tuck the tailbone underneath you. Inhale, release the tops of the feet, bring the forearms down. Maybe bring yourself a little bit more forward. See how that reacts on your body. And then as you exhale, round your spine. You can tuck the toes or not. Head hangs down, round that upper back, pull the belly in. One more time, release to your forearms, push the forearms forward, and you maybe bring your chest a little bit more through. Exhale, round and curl the chin to the chest, hang your head, tuck your tailbone, so your arms are a little further out than your shoulders. Move through your sides, and then come back when you're ready to center. Bringing your heart through and just dip your hips towards the floor. Lift your chest up. Pull your heart center through. Close your eyes, gaze at the tip of your nose. Relax the space between the ears and the shoulders. And maybe you want to roll a little side to side. Breathe in, breathe out. And from here, we're going to start to do some dancing lions. So start off small, go big when you can or want. Go wherever your body signals you, right? Every time we get on this mat, it's a different experience. You just never know, and I'm sure you can all attest to this, how you're going to feel at any given time. It's like, I see Laura on here, it's like going out for a run, switch sides. I never know how I'm going to feel till I start running, right? And so I go with the days that feel great, and I back off on the days that don't feel great. So if this is a day that you don't feel great, take it easy. And let's go forward and back a couple times. Let the legs open up and just lift your heart up. Exhale, toes touch, hips back. Do that 2 more times again. Opening up wide. Lift your chest, push your hips back. Let's do it one more time. We're going to come forward this time, and we're going to lay all the way down onto our forearms on the floor underneath our shoulders. So now the elbows are right underneath my hips. My feet are wide. My glutes are soft. And I'm going to imagine that I'm drawing that mat towards my hips. So I'm going to pull my elbows towards my hips and my hips towards my elbows as I lift my chest up. If this is too extreme for you, go to a low cobra, just lifting the chest and the head up. Breathe in, pull your heart center through. And now drop your chin and look over your left shoulder, over towards your right foot. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Chin to chest, over to the other side, look around. Come back to center. Let your head come down, bring your arms underneath your forehead. Bring your legs a little bit closer and just shimmy your hips from side to side. And then let the legs come down and turn the toes slightly pigeoned. And then now bring the arms by your side. Turn your right ear to the mat and let your shoulders drape open. Soften your glutes. Try to press your shoulders forward, not with force, just allow them to naturally sink down. Stay where you are, but turn your head to the other side. And then rise back to center. Turn your palms so they face the floor. Bring your feet a little closer together. Imagine that you're drawing your hands towards your shoulders and your shoulders towards your hands. Push your pubic bone down on the floor. Lift your chest up. Pull the shoulder blades back and down. Keep the crown of the head in line with the spine so that your gaze is out a little bit in front of you and you're not cranking up your neck and shortening that cervical spine. Take one more breath here, pushing down through the whole bottom part of your body. And as you exhale, come down, bring your hands by your chest, sit back to that child's pose. This time your knees might be closer, but you see where you need to be. Inhale to all fours, tuck your toes and find a soft, easy downward facing dog. Moving your weight from side to side, from hip to hip, let your head hang down. Bend one knee at a time. Send your weight from right arm to left arm, from right foot to left foot to right foot, wherever you are. And then just make your way to center. Lift high up on your toes. Bend your knees and press your chest towards your thighs, biceps by your ears. You don't have to make it too extreme. Keep the knees bent as you hover your tabletop off the floor. Sorry for those of you who were following my 12:30 class, we did a few of these. And then come back, chest to thighs, head hangs down. Right heel presses, left knee is bent. And then switch the press, right knee bends, left heel presses. And then come back to center. Soften your knees and walk just a few steps up your mat. Bring your hands back to your feet back to your hands. Climb to your fingertips, shins, or blocks, so lengthen your spine. Keep the crown of the head forward so there's no shortening of the cervical spine. And then empty the breath and forward fold over your legs. And bend your knees enough that you can place your palms on the floor. So I have tight hamstrings, like that, tight back. So I have to bend my knees probably a lot more than some of you. I want you to push the hands down and feel the upper back opening as you let your head come down. And for those of you who do handstands, know the feeling of trying to kind of float yourself up, but we're not going to, unless you want to, we're not going to do a handstand here. All we're doing is shifting that weight forward and just imagining that our hips are going to lift up in the air and our legs are going to lift up in the air. Hang your head down. Look up towards your belly button. Roll yourself to standing, take your time. When you come up, roll those shoulders back and around a couple times. All the way back and around. Now stretch your arms down by your sides, spread your fingers just like your toes. Lift your toes up one at a time, place them down, spread your fingers open. Tuck the tailbone underneath you, right, so we're not arching back. I'm going to give you a moment to even read my shirt from behind. It's a beautiful saying, it's namaste. I'll give you another opportunity later. So open up your arms, spread your fingers, spread your toes. Ground your feet into the earth. Lift the earth energies up through your quadriceps, through your tailbone, tuck your tailbone, I should say, through your torso. All the way up, rising up through the cervical spine, all the way up to the top of the head. And then bring your arms overhead on an inhaling breath. Clasp your hands together, turn your fingers inside out. Press the palms up, drop the shoulders down. Bring the ribs down towards the hips so you're not arching into your lower back, but you're lifting out of your torso. Lift up, up, up. And then just bring the hands behind your head and let your head rest into your arms. And again, be conscious of what's going on in that lower back. Drop the hips towards the ribs towards the hips. And then lean to your right side, get a nice stretch here. Hold it here. Open up your arms, open up your throat, your chest. Then bring your elbows towards each other, bend your knees, and just kind of come down towards that right knee. Inhale, release your arms through center, forward fold. Chin to chest, ragdoll to stand, all the way up, roll the shoulders back and around. Stretch your arms up overhead, interlace your fingers, maybe one finger over, lift the palms up, drop the shoulders down, ribs down. Inhale, the hands behind your head, let your head rest. Exhale, maybe up and over to the left side. Keep opening that right shoulder at the front of your chest. Let your head just rest in your hands, no force. Then let's bring the arms by our ears and frame our ears. Bend the knees and let your body send over to the left side. Keep the feet evenly pressing. And exhale, release your arms down in the center, sway a little side to side. Bring your chin into your chest, roll yourself up to slowly standing all the way up. Shoulders roll back and around. Bring your arms all the way overhead. Bring prayer to your heart as you exhale. Step a few feet forward, top of your mat. Feet come together now. Close your eyes. Maybe you haven't set an intention. Maybe you'd like to. Maybe this is a good time. Close your eyes, gaze to the tip of your nose. Find length in your spine. Crown of the head up, bottoms down. Open your eyes, hook your thumbs together, lift the arms up overhead, lift your heart up, bend your elbows. So we're not holding onto our head again, now we're floating it in space, trying to draw the ribs down towards the hips. And as you exhale, press the arms up, fold forward, hands behind the back, separate your feet a little bit wider if you need more stability, and let your head hang down. So if your shoulders are tight here, you might need to hold on to a strap or a towel, a belt, as I said earlier. Maybe you need to open your arms, your fingers apart because your shoulders are tight. If you have it and you want to hold on, great, please do. And let your body surrender over your legs. Notice mine are really bent, so don't feel bad if you have to bend your knees. It's okay. As you empty the breath, sweep the floor with your hands, release them, and find your chair pose, but half a chair. So sit back like you're squatting. Reach your arms forward like you're being pulled in two directions, and set your weight back. Inhale, hand, and exhale, fold. All the way down, hips up, head down. Chin to chest, rag body, stand all the way up. Heel toe your feet together, bring your hands to your heart center, exhale. Inhale, hook thumbs, arms up. Open up the arms. As you exhale, forward fold, hands behind your back, head down to the floor, arms up. Inhale, release your hands to the floor, shins or blocks, lengthen your spine. Right leg steps back, big lunge, so you want to make sure that you have space, knee over the ankle, that your heel is not lifting off the floor. And then send that left leg to meet the right leg, downward dog, hips up in the air, chest towards your thighs. Walk your dog if it feels good. Come forward to a high plank pose, looking forward. Crown of the head reaches forward. Everything is tight. Empty the breath as the knees come down. Release the chin and chest to the floor. Elbows brush the rib cage, or maybe you just lay right down on the floor. Lift your chest up. Crown of the head forward, toes pull back. So this time my feet are closer together, but if that creates any stress in your back, open your legs wider. Exhale, your head comes down. Inhale, sit back on your heels, but tuck your toes this time. Lift your hips up in the air, nice and high. Look between your hands and bring your right leg through, or drop your left knee to get there. And then bring your left leg to meet your right leg, top of the mat. Empty the breath, fold. Soften the knees, hook your thumbs, biceps by the ears as you rise all the way up. Come back to that forward fold, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, head down, arms up. Oops, I almost fell. Inhale, release your hands, look forward. Exhale, left foot steps back, big step back. Check out the alignment, knee over the ankle, hips up in the air, downward facing dog. Breathe. High up on your tippy toes, come forward to a high plank, shoulders over wrists. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Maybe you want to lift your arms up so you know your back is doing the work, not your hands. Exhale, seat to heels, toes tuck. Knees lift, downward facing dog. Inhale, so you either drop your right knee to the floor and step forward, or simply step that left leg forward. Right leg meets left, top of the mat, look up. Empty your breath, fold. Hook thumbs the opposite direction, arms come up. Exhale, prayer, hands to your heart center, close your eyes. Settle in. Inhale. And exhale. Open your eyes, hook thumbs, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, arms behind your back, head down, arms up. Inhale, release hands, look forward. Exhale, right foot back, downward dog. Exhale, left foot back, or same breath, I should say. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, toes tuck. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, right foot forward, left knee drops if you need to. Left foot meets top of the mat. Empty breath, forward fold. Soften knees, hook thumbs, rise up. One more time, bring the arms behind your back, head down, arms up. Inhale, release hands, look up. Exhale, left leg back, right leg back, downward dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, seat to heels. Here's my downward dog. Downward facing dog, hips up. So maybe you're dropping that right knee down or stepping that left foot forward. Right foot meets top of the mat, look up. Empty breath, fold. Soften knees, hook thumbs, rise up. Hands to your heart center, exhale. Close your eyes. Breathe. Inhale, ground yourselves. Ground yourself from the bottoms of your feet all the way through your legs. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Find length through the torso, reaching all the way up to the top. One more breath. Inhale, just stretch the arms over your head now. Open your heart. Reach the arms out. Exhale, forward fold, sweep the floor. Reach the arms by your ears now, chair pose, shoulders down, weight back to your heels. Bring your hands to your heart center, inhale. Keep the length in your spine. As you exhale, twist to the outside of the right knee. Now notice that left knee kind of wants to shoot forward, so drop it back by sitting your hips down lower, thumbs to your heart, eye gaze over your right elbow. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Find nice pressure between the two palms. Try to keep your hips stable and centered. One more breath. As you release the breath, just simply fold over your legs, hang your head. Climb halfway up on your fingertips, shins or blocks, separate your feet. 2 fists in between your feet will give you the approximate width of your hips. Take your peace fingers around your big toe. Wrap your thumb underneath your 2 fingers and pull your toes up and push your fingers down. Elbows out to the side. Now start to straighten your legs, head to your shins. Pull yourself in half. Let your head go. Shake it out, yes and no. One more breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release your hands. Ragdoll to stand all the way up to standing. Roll your shoulders back and around. Heel toe your feet together. Bring your hands to prayer. Inhale, open your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down and sweep the floor. Biceps by the ears. Good. Sit down in chair pose. Hands to your heart center. Keep the length in the spine as you rotate to the outside of the left knee. Maybe that right knee has shot forward a little bit, so drop your seat down. Thumbs to your sternum, breathe and twist. If you can't find smooth breath, you're in too deep, so back off. One more. Empty the breath, forward fold, hang your head. Halfway lift, inhale, separate your feet, that same 2 fists apart again. And then take your peace fingers again around your big toes, pull up. Exhale, forward fold, elbows draw out to the side. Pull and push at the same time. And let your head come down. So maybe this second time around you have a little bit more space. Just breathe. Work at this, I like to call it like a tug of war. You're pushing, you're pulling, you're trying to fight from the center. And empty the breath as you let go. Halfway lift, inhale. Release your hands to your hips, flat back, come up to standing. Bring your hands on your back, lift your arm up and bring your elbows closer together. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Maybe your hands just kind of support your back and you bend over, backwards over them. And think about your heart being pulled up or your sternum being pulled up and maybe slightly backwards. And then rise back up to standing, feet together. Inhale, arms to your hands to your heart. Exhale. Inhale, press the arms up. Exhale, open swan dive, forward fold, come back to your chair pose, inhale. As you exhale, fold over your legs, straighten them down. Halfway lift, hands on floor, shins or block, inhale. Plant your palms, step to a high plank or go to your knees. Lower down to your knees or go halfway down with straight legs. Roll over your toes or you're on your belly. So we did the other a couple times. Now downward dog, hips up in the air. Inhale and exhale. Look forward and step your right foot between your hands. Help it out if you need to. Spin your back foot on its side. Notice the alignment from the front heel to the back heel. You might need to go further. I do these days. I just find that my hips are tight. So go ahead and accommodate your own body. And then bend the front knee and then drop that right hip towards midline. Just hover your fingers off the floor. Lift your torso up and then bring the arms with you overhead. Now, they don't have to touch. If your shoulders are tight and you're touching and you're here, open up your arms here, then lift your heart up. I like to touch. I have a little bit more openness in my shoulders. But drop the rib cage down. Send the weight into the outer pinky sides of both feet. One more breath, warrior one. Open up, warrior two as you exhale. So now you might adjust that back foot to be more 90 degrees of a bend. Right knee over the ankle, second, third toe in line with the second, third toe, in line with your hip bone. Reach in two directions, forward and back. Everything moving from the center of our body. Good. Flip your palms and reach forward. Left arm's going to come down. Right leg is going to straighten. As we push the left hip towards the right. Lift out, so don't dump all the way into your left side body. Stay nice and strong. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Windmill around, turn your left foot forward. You can drop to your knee or stretch your right arm up and open up twist. Bringing the crown of the head forward, tailbone back, squeeze your hips towards each other. Right arm comes up, breathe. Right arm comes down as you exhale. Step back or find your knees to a high plank. Lower down halfway or to your knees, chest and chin. Roll over your toes, upward dog. Or that low cobra, downward dog, or child's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. If this is too much, go to your knees. Look between your hands and we're going to bring the left foot forward. Before I come up, I kind of notice, right? When you get used to your practice, you kind of make this mental note of where my alignment is before I even come up, even though it seems like we're coming up really quickly. So draw that hip in. Come to your fingertips. Lift your torso up and begin to bring the arms up over your head. Breathe. So I want to be aware of both pinky toes pressing to the floor. The left knee in line with my hip, over my ankle in line with my second, third toes. Breathe. Arms up. Or maybe they're separated. Right? Draw the ribs under, that tailbone under. Take one more breath in warrior one. Inhale, open out. Warrior two, so I adjusted my back foot. You might not have to. Reach your fingers forward and back. Gaze your left arm. Send it down, warrior two. Flip your palms, reach forward. Right arm comes down, left leg straightens. And I move my right hip towards my left thigh. Breathe. I'm not dumping into the right side of my body, I'm lifting up and out. Inhale, back to center. Rewind, right arm down, left arm up as the back foot spins, or maybe I go to my knee and twist. Breathe. Crown of the head reaches forward. Tailbone brings back. One more big breath. Exhale, hands down. Step back, high plank, low plank, upward, and downward dogs. Any variations that you need to do. Hips up in the air and breathe. Hang your head. Walk your dog from side to side. Notice where it's at. Rise onto your toes, soften your knees. Make your way to the front of your mat, however you get there is fine. Bend your knees, sweep your floor, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands to your heart. Arms by your side, Samasthiti heat. Close your eyes. Feel the energy, feel the grounding. Think of every time you're in this pose, same thing. Your feet are grounding, they're rising. The energy from the earth is rising through the feet, through the legs, through the torso, all the way out through the top of your head. Open your eyes, bring your hands to prayer, exhale. Inhale, press the palms up. Exhale, swan dive, sweep the floor, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, hang your head. Halfway lift, inhale. Step, step, high plank, low plank, upward and downward dogs. Again, your variations or none. You know, you can add push-ups too. Right foot steps forward, left foot turns. Warrior one, arms come up. One breath as we open warrior two, exhale. Flip your palms, right leg straightens, right arm up, left arm down. Exhale, windmill down, left arm down, right arm up, right hip turns forward, left hip turns forward, right arm up. Breathe. One more breath here. Right hand inside, right foot. Left knee to the floor, right toes turn out to the side. Push your hips forward. Stay on your hands, or maybe you come to your forearms, or a block, or books, or a towel. And then maybe you want to spin out open on that right outer foot. Have a conversation with your hips. I'm sure they're having one with you right now. Come back to center, hands to the floor. Take your time. There's no need to rush your practice. Right hand on the outside of the right leg. Keep pressing that left hip forward. Press into the top of the left foot and shin. Climb to your fingertips. Bring your chest, heart forward. Breathe. Keep pressing forward. So this should be a really nice release in that left hip. Now, release your right leg behind you. Kick it up in the air. Bring the knee to the chest, round curl. Kick it back out. Tuck your left toes under and find that downward dog. Right foot to the floor, hips up, chest to thighs. Look between your hands, bring your left foot forward. Right foot turns. Warrior one, inhale. Open up warrior two. Flip, right arm up, left leg straight. Exhale, windmill down. Right hand down, left arm up, open the twist. Breathe. One more breath. Left hand inside left foot. Perhaps that right knee comes down. Turn your toes out a little bit if you'd like. Roll onto the outer side. Maybe you're coming down to your forearms or block. Breathe in, breathe out. So sometimes I do give you a dedicated, I'm just going to take a little water, my mouth is really dry. Sometimes I do give you a dedicated, don't put your toes, or don't lift your toes up, don't turn it on your hip. Today, go where it feels good. One more breath. Release your hands. Tuck your right toes under as you take that left leg back. Now, we're going to stay on that right knee a little bit. So we're going to just push forward. Make sure, again, the knee can be a little bit in front of the ankle, but you don't want to be so far that the heel lifts up off the floor. That puts a lot of stress. So make the adjustment and just settle into this hip stretch. Right side. Your psoas. Your chest is lifted. This left leg is pretty active. There's a lot of work going on still in the glutes. One more breath. Hands down as you exhale. Left leg comes back behind you. Round and curl knee to chest. Hug it in. Kick it back. Tuck your toes. And lift up three-legged downward dog. Four on the floor. Chest to thighs. Breathe. Come high on your toes. Come to that high plank. Look all the way forward. Lower down knees, chest, and chin. Lay on your belly. Low cobra. Arms up, hips down. Exhale, come down. Walk your hands back, one handprint, so your thumbs are maybe by your waistline. Elbows squeeze in, push the tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift your chest up, maybe a little bit more, but your hips still stay on the floor for this one. Empty it out. Walk your hands back one more time. Press through the tops of your feet. Lift your chest up. Maybe lift your legs up. Upward dog. Heart opens up.
Tuck that tailbone under. Now release your knees, child's pose, arms by your side, palms face up. Let your shoulders drape open over your legs. Everything releases. Settle in, listen to the quality of your breath. Is it still soft? Do you hear it? Is it choppy? Let your breath be your guide. One more breath here. Tuck chin to chest, roll up. Take your time. Bring your hands by your legs and draw your knees closer together. If this doesn't suit you, just take your legs out in front of you. Hands by your side or just behind your feet. Maybe you're on your fingertips, maybe your palms are down and your chest looks open. Now for some of you, this is a lot. For some of you, this is great. For some of you, it's not enough. So maybe you want to lift your hips up off your heels. And maybe, just maybe, the head goes back if that's okay for you. Right? If it makes you dizzy, don't do it. And if this is too strong of a stretch on your quads and your hips, stay just in the first position. One more breath. Lower the hips. Bring the chin to the chest. Cup your heels with your hands. Put your forehead on your knees and the crown of your head to the floor. As you lift your hips up off the floor, push the tops of your feet and shins into the floor. Now I want you to pull your heels with your hands and push against your hands with your heels. Rabbit pose. There's no weight on your head. All the weight is pushing into the top of the foot shin to give you that rounded spine and release all that pressure from your head. One more breath. And as you exhale, release your hips down to the floor. Roll slowly up to sitting. Swing your legs out to either side and sweep them around to the front of the mat. Shake it out. Good. All right. How are we doing? I hope I get some thumbs up from you guys. All right. So I'm going to keep my legs as wide as the short edge of my mat for now, which is not too wide, right? Flexing my feet, I'm going to turn the toes up towards my face. My hands come down by my side, so my chest is lifted, right? So I'm not too wide. My hands are down. Actually, I like to sometimes bring them a little bit more forward, so I'm tempted here to maybe sometimes use my shoulders. So push down, and as I press down, I'm going to lift out of my spine, collarbones broaden, toes turn up towards my face, breathe. Now draw the heel of your hands down and back to bring your torso just a little bit more forward. You should be sitting on your sitting bones. If you're tight, sit on something, anything that'll lift you up. One more breath. Now I'm going to lift my hands up and try not to move my torso as I bring my hands to my heart center. And then I'm going to press my arms up overhead. Open up the hands and take my peace fingers. Reach out of my waistline here. Lean forward, stopping when I first feel the hamstrings. For me, it's right away, right? And then maybe find a little bit more space. Every time I let go of the breath, I might have a little bit more space. But one thing I don't want to do here is just hang my head, hang by my ligaments, my spine, right? And just kind of get there so that my head gets to my knees. That's not where I'm going. I'm going from my chest towards my thighs. So come back up, bring your hands back by your side, lift your chest up, push the floor down and back so your heart goes forward. Your heart goes forward, your hips go back, your toes go back, and your heels go forward. One more time. Now see if you can let go of the arms from the floor without any movement. Arms come all the way up overhead. Peace fingers are going to come up. Reach out, out, out. Stop when I first feel it. And then if I can continue to reach forward to get my peace fingers around my toes again, lengthen the spine. Now, notice that I'm not hanging here. So all I'm doing is pulling my chest through while I pull my toes back, shoulders back. It's a really strong move, okay? So if your hamstrings are tight, you might need to bend your knees or shorten your stance, right? Bring your legs closer together. One more breath. Now, on my final breath, I'm going to lift up
let go, but I'm not going to collapse into it, right? Because I'm not holding on to this to keep the length in my spine. I got my core active here. So I'm going to let go slowly, come up. Bring my hands back behind me, bend the knees, and rock side to side a couple times. And then come back to center. Bring your feet closer together. Shift your weight so that you're a little bit in front of your sitting bones. Now draw your arms around your shins. Grab opposite elbows. Bring your feet closer. Pull your chest towards your thighs and your thighs towards your chest. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the length in your spine. Inhale and exhale. Now on the next breath in, we're going to lift a little taller. Maybe it's just in our mind's eye. And as we exhale, chin to chest, I'm going to put my forehead on my knees. And I'm going to round my back, but I'm going to keep my shoulders away from my ears. Pull the belly in. And then I'm going to pull myself back up, roll over the sitting bones a little bit. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, pull the belly in, relax those necks. And then rise back up. Good. Now hold on with just your left hand, right hand behind you. If you need to, you can bring your legs further out in front of you. Take your left arm outside of the right leg. Now, the knees are going to want to sway a little bit to the left side, so let's try to keep them in and use them as a little bit of leverage for that left arm to hook outside and then rotate over your right shoulder. So even I have to kind of remind myself, don't let my shoulders come up to my ears. Keep the length in the spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, there's always this duality of action, of pushing and pulling, of standing and then grounding, rising up and grounding. So we've got this duality of pushing against my leg and my leg pushing against my arm, and then my heart lifts up and twists. One more breath. Come back to center. Release both hands once again. Lift your chest up. Chin to chest, round and curl, belly to spine. Pull your belly all the way in. And then rise up. Left hand behind the back, pressing down to lift up. Right arm comes up, twist outside my left leg. The knees tend to want to shift to the right, so I'm going to try to keep them as straight as I can. Lengthening out of my spine, twisting a little bit deeper. Inhale and exhale. Keep that leverage of your arm against your leg and your leg against the arm. One more breath. Back to center on the exhale. Hold around your shins again. One more time, round your back. And then raise your chest up. I'm going to come a little bit forward. I'm just going to keep my mat this way, but I'll come a little bit more so you can see me. And then let's just arms out, chin to chest, round the back, and roll down to your spine. Take your time as you make your way to the floor. Hug your knees up to your chest. Good. Make circles, hands on top of your knees. Make opposing circles with your legs. Massage out your spine. And then reverse. And then take the soles of your feet together in the air. If you can grab on the ankles without your hips lifting, great. If not, hold on to underneath your thighs. And let your knees just be apart, knees over hips. And take your arms to do the same thing unless they're holding your legs over your head. So your palms are together, arms are open. Now this is not an inactive pose. This is very active. Breathe in. So try to think about bringing your ribs towards your hips so your back doesn't arch off the floor and you see that pouching out. And then drop it down. Breathe in, breathe out. And then draw your knees together. Grab opposite elbows over your head. Lift your legs in the air. Flex your feet, point your toes. Then open your legs about the width of your hips and let your tailbone sink to the floor. And now soften your feet. Notice, so flex your feet for a second, turn your toes towards your face, really tight and strong, and then relax the feet. What a difference. So here we're going to relax, but what you might see is some shaking in your legs, a little trembling, it's okay. Take 3 more rounds of breath here, full, deep, and complete. And then bring your knees to your chest. Take your feet back to the floor. Keep your arms up for me. And drop your knees over to the right side. Maybe your eye gaze or your head turns a little bit to the left. Now I'm going to separate my legs so that my left leg is going to come a little bit more, and then I'm going to release my arms, left arm out to the left side, or the right side actually, right arm behind my head. And then I'm going to open that left arm back over my head and take both arms shoulder height, opening up my chest. That may be too extreme for some of your backs, so maybe you bring your legs further down away from your chest. If, on the other hand, you want more, get closer up. Take 2 more breaths. And then as you exhale, left leg comes back, center on our backs. I'm going to move my knees over to the left side, My left arm is there now, so I'm going to take my right arm up and over, and then I'm going to draw my arm over my head to give me that big twist. You might hear snap, crackle, pop. So your eye gaze goes to the right. If you want more, bring your knees up closer to your chest. If you want less, take them further away. One more breath. Right leg comes in the air, left leg comes in the air. Hands around your shins, head and shoulders lift up, round and curl. Lower your head to the floor. Bring your legs out in front of you. Take your legs now as wide as the short edge of your mat. Lay on your back. Take your arms over your head so that your arms are in the same position, the short edges of the mat. So you look like an X. Take your left ankle over your right ankle. Take your left wrist with your right wrist and create a crescent so that the left side of your body is long and the right side of your body is shortened. Right? Concave and convex. And relax your head and shoulders. Breathe. One more breath. Slowly release the binds. Bring your arms back out so you look like the letter X. Cross the right ankle over the left. Take the right wrist with the left. So the left side of your body is shorter and the right side is longer. You're in a crescent pose or a crescent stretch. One more breath. Release the arms. Back to your X. And then bend the knees, place the feet on the floor. Take your arms back down by your side. Place your palms right at the side of your hips or right underneath your hips. Bring your legs into the chest. Once again, stretch them up, this time a little bit more active, feet are together. Think about lowering your legs to the floor at the same time, lengthening them away from you. So as we lower, we lengthen, lower, lengthen. And what happens is that back's going to start arching. So you might need to have your feet or your hips underneath your hip, or your hands underneath your hips. Keep lengthening and lowering and lengthening and lowering. When your feet finally touch the earth, you rise up onto your forearms, and maybe your head goes back onto the floor. Maybe you like to keep it up. Maybe you have another variation of this fish pose, Matsyenasana. And stay for 5 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. 1 more breath. Bring your chin to your chest as you empty the breath. Roll down to the floor. Bring your hands behind your head like we did earlier, cupping your head with your arms. Open your arms out to the side. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, bring the elbows closer to the ears. Bring the chin to the chest. Now flex your feet back up towards your face. Pull your belly down. Really press into the earth here. So the neck stretch. In Pilates, we would do a roll up with this as well. 1 more breath. And empty down to the floor. Hug your knees up to your chest. 1 more time. Round and curl your spine. And then lay your head on the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Begin to settle into your final Shavasana, your final pose. If there's something you'd like to do that I haven't offered up, and there's certainly plenty of things that we haven't done today, this is a great time to take them. So we're going to start to really bring it back down. Start tuning out of the physical movements and tuning in back to the breath. The breath has been there with us the whole time. So let's release the breath that we were using, the Ujjayi breath, and then come back to your own natural pattern of breath. Settle in. Empty out. And do a body scan from head to toe, inside and outside. Notice if there's any points of distraction there, and just direct the breath to those points. Take this opportunity to give back to your bodies what we take for granted every day. I invite you to stay as long as you'd like into your Shavasana. Or if you're ready to come out, begin to deepen your breath. Make small movements through your fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. Invite movement back to stretching the arms overhead, legs away from you. And maybe you take yourself onto either side. Create a pillow for your head to rest in. And once again, maybe you make your way to sitting, or maybe you stay right where you are. If you're coming up to sitting, bring your hands together at your heart center. Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace to all. I thank you so much for joining me today. I thank you for putting your bodies in my hand, even though it's virtually today. Thank you for your commitment, for your practice, for your passion. And now we all bow down and honor each other, the light, the peace, the goodness within each one of us. Namaste. Sat Nam. Go in peace. If you are celebrating Passover, have a wonderful Seder tonight. If I'm not going to see you again, I am doing an Easter morning flow at 10:30, so I hope that you can join me. Easter morning Sunday. It's a strange week, but we're here. Thank you all for being here. If you have any questions, comments, please write comments, share this with anybody. You can still find this on my Facebook page later and my YouTube channel, so please subscribe so that you can keep following. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, guys. So it was so good to see some of you again, and I look forward to getting with you again. So again, Sunday morning, 10:30 for a flow. Tomorrow morning, 12:30, ABC. Nope, BLT. Wrong sandwich. Buns, legs, thighs, 12:30 tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.